The Expat Diaries, Excerpt 0, the intro. Like all the great ones before, all the elements are there, but nowadays it is a less urgent, more detached by technology kind of version of the whole thing. The hedonism is still there, the aimlessness, the parade of people from all over, all milling about with no plan but to drink it up and try to keep the dream going as long as possible while not really knowing it's a dream. That is the youthful version of it. It's a young man's game. Those who keep going turn into the Henrys of the world, those detached souls who decide to ride beauty down to the bottom of the ocean. The other route is you marry in, go legit, and live out some sort of My Life in Tuscany, romanticized travel memoir version of the whole thing. That's usually the female route. The seeking ship of beauty is usually the male version of it. In any case, it is the right time and a right experience. That is why you get addicted, and that is why all of us expats have such a ridiculously hard time reintegrating if we ever can. We get used to a life of minute-by-minute possibility. Adventure can pop up at 80 different times during the day. Even if it's not true possibility or adventure, it feels like it, which is all that really matters. I mean, how many times did you go to a party with an entirely new batch of faces, an entirely new set of sexual possibilities and routes into the future? You pop in, the radio's blaring some new shit off Radio Nova, and you're drinking whatever from one of the 12 open bottles on the messy table. You look over and see some shy, stunning blonde girl. You learn that she is Norwegian and that her name is Sophie. A beautiful but strange combination that you have become used to. The situation in Paris on the expat trail pulses with actual self-expression, not the cheap, media American version of this situation. You imagine having sex with her, but not in that vacant American way of thinking about it. This might lead to making love somewhere in Norway. She's probably studying something interesting. She's not just some chick in a bar with a job and no real interest of any kind. The shy Norwegian girl with a French sex kit name has a look on her face that is the visible top of the proverbial iceberg of conversation topics. She is far away from home. So are you. You both came here, which means you automatically share a certain psychological structure that would be near impossible to find back home, where everyone is deluded that they have something in common because they happen to just exist in the same town together and go to the same grocery store. No, this is different. You haven't even met her yet, and you already know you have more in common. You know you're compatible in some deep way just by nature of the faraway situation you both find yourselves in. Being an expat is like a pre-screening. All of the people you meet are seekers. Those looking to drink a more exotic and rare vintage, and are willing to burn the bridges behind them to go a little further. Sacrifice is part of the makeup. It is letting go of the dock and trusting, hoping that those resources will be out there. This is why most people can never do it. They just can't let go of the dock, of the steady supply of cheap things that will reassure them of who they are. The expat is the explorer, the psychonaut, if you will. Whereas the explorers of mountains have rivers, streams, rocks, and peaks, the expat has bedrooms, bars, bottles, breasts, and river caves at dawn. Both are seeking some kind of meaning, but the expat takes place in the land of the living, in the swirl of burning to be alive. But that, at times, ends in the ash-smelling, sticky floor, wine-stained morning. Because this foreign land of experience for you is the everyday home you left behind to everyone else around you. In the end, you're an outsider, the same as you were back home. And herein rests the crux of being an expat. You don't belong anywhere. You left because you felt like an outsider at home, and you'll feel the same way if you go back. But when euphoria dies down and you're an outsider here too, and eventually the circus dies down, Sophie disappears back to Norway to continue her studies and will probably not come back to Paris. Everyone starts to disappear. Everyone starts to get on with their lives. And you are stuck with the choice to hold on or let go. The problem is that letting go feels like giving up. And that is not something you want to do. You came here in search of something, and though you found it many times over, it burned off with the morning sun, you could never really hold on to it. You want to go legit, you want to live it every day, but there's the core of the problem. You are allergic to going legit. You fooled yourself into thinking that you were allergic to home, to your culture, so you ran away to find another one. But you finally realized that you were allergic to belonging. You were allergic to there not being a bright new horizon around every corner. You are the optimistic dreamer who can't settle anywhere. Going legit and settling in this new culture is just some deluded reason you gave to up and leaving before, some justification for your choices and for the critics of your lifestyle. Do you ride the beauty ship down, or do you admit that you were wrong about the whole thing? Both are a kind of death. Neither you want to do. You feel stuck, the opposite of what this whole thing was about. It wasn't about feeling trapped, it was about feeling liberated. But now you are stuck. You are broke, financially, emotionally, and socially. The reserves that you always trusted were coming at some point to pay you for your sacrifices, pay you for your dedication to the lifestyle, pay you for your allegiance to their deal. They haven't shown up. You realize they don't exist. Your dedication to the moment has severed you from the past and left your future blank. Everyone else moved on, they got out, and now you are standing alone with a broken, split identity, faced with what is in your pocket and your next move, which seems like a double loss. You closed out the party, and now you are alone.